Hello and welcome to Lesson 1-2, Isometric and Orthographic Drawing. We have two ways that we can use to draw three-dimensional shapes. The first is called isometric drawing. And an isometric drawing shows a corner view of a three-dimensional object. Usually the front, right, and top of the object is what's seen. We use a special kind of grid paper for isometric drawing. It's made of congruent triangles. So if you look, this paper here, these are all equilateral triangles. And over here, if I were to join these dots together, that would also make an equilateral triangle. So we simply remove the lines and make them into dots. Unlike Cartesian graph paper, it creates a different way to make a grid that can show perspective. Cartesian grid paper is great if you're looking at something straight on, but this isometric grid paper is really, really great for showing depth. So looking down here, we have some examples of we have an example of isometric drawing. In this example, we can clearly see how this grid paper is used to show depth. So here's my laser pointer. You can see here that we create the depth by building the the square top back, so it looks more like a rhombus. We only look at the portion of the object that we can physically see. So notice I don't draw in this side here that clearly exists, or this base here that clearly exists, because I can't see them from that perspective. And I only draw lines when there is a change in depth. We do not draw lines if it's just two blocks stacked on top of each other and we need to show that they're connected. They're naturally connected. So there's no line right here because there's no change in depth, and I don't need it. We want our drawing to look as smooth and not as simple as possible. So yes. Now I want you to do a try me. I am going to show you a video of a three-dimensional object, and I want you to draw it below. Please pause the video. Here is a quick video of the shape I would like you now to make. Notice it's 2 blocks high. There's a block coming out of the front. Looking over the side here, there's a hidden block back there, so be careful with it. And then from the top, this is what you're seeing. So that's front, side, top. The other type of drawing we make with blocks is called an orthographic drawing. And like an isometric drawing, orthographic drawings help us represent three-dimensional figures accurately. However, unlike isometric drawings, orthographic drawings don't really need a specific kind of paper. You can use regular old square graph paper or Cartesian graph paper to do these. Orthographic drawings are a series of three drawings that show a three-dimensional object from 3 different views, usually the top, front, and right. So if you hear orthographic drawing, you should think, I need 3 pictures. So for example, in this right here, we have our isometric view, right? That's the one that looks like it's three-dimensional. And I've labeled that this side here is the front and this side here is the right on the drawing. So then I come over here and I need to make a drawing of the top, the front, and the right. So when I'm looking at this thing from the top, there is this L, that's all at one height. And then there's this one cube here that is at a different elevation. So I draw in because there'd be a visible edge right there that I designate with a solid line. Now from the front, if I were to look at this thing straight on, I wouldn't be able to see this depth change right here, but it does exist. So if I have a hidden edge that I can't see from that view, I use a dashed line to show that. Now I could see the change in depth right here from my front view, so I put a line right there. Now for the right view, you can see we've got these 2 blocks stacked here, and then 2 blocks going out to the side. These 2 blocks are at different depths, so they need a line between them. And these 2 stacked are the same depth, so they don't need a line. I have a second one down here for you to look at. Here, from my front view, we have a hidden edge right here, so we'd have our dashed line there. We've got 3 stacking up, then I have 1 that comes out, and then these 2 are on the front, but again, there's a hidden edge that has to be drawn in here. The top, you've got the L, and then these 2 towers that are represented by these 2 squares here, and then your right view. So, I want you now to pause your video and draw the orthographic representation of the figure your teacher is about to show you. Thank you. Here is a quick video of the shape I would like you now to make. Notice it's 2 blocks high, there's a block coming out of the front. Looking over the side here, there's a hidden block back there, so be careful with it. And then from the top, this is what you're seeing. So that's front, side, top.